What is up, guys? Welcome back to BDXAI. Today, we are testing something that has completely taken the AI world by storm. Google just released their most powerful and performant model yet, Gemini 3.1 Pro. And today, we are pushing its limits to the extreme. We aren't just going to talk about it, we've put it through 11 insane real-world tests. We're going to make it build a brand new operating system from scratch, create 3D animations, and test everything from game coding to complex scientific research. Plus, we will compare its official benchmarks against other top-tier models to see if it truly is the smartest AI out there. This video is going to be brutally honest and packed with details, so make sure you watch until the end. First, let's talk specs. Gemini 3.1 Pro is a massive upgrade designed specifically for complex problem-solving and agentic coding. It features a massive 1 million token context window, meaning you can feed it hundreds of pages of text or hours of video all at once. According to Google's official blog, developers can access this model via Google AI Studio and their new agentic development platform, Google Anti-Gravity. For everyday users, you can already access it directly in the Gemini app and Notebook LM. So, without wasting any time, let's jump right into our first practical test. Our first test was UI design generation. I asked Gemini to design a futuristic holographic OS specifically for smart glasses, featuring 6 spatial apps and eye-tracking navigation. At first glance, the result was mind-blowing. It created a glass morphism interface with a dark sci-fi theme and neon blue accents that look straight out of a movie. But when I analyzed it deeper, a few flaws appeared. While the design vibe is a solid 10 out of 10, the apps themselves were completely empty shells with no real data inside. And the funniest mistake? I specifically asked for an eye-tracking system controlled by your gaze, but it slapped a fingerprint icon right in the center of the screen. So Gemini made a beautiful interface, but definitely missed a bit of common sense there. In our second test, we checked its image to 3D capability. I fed it an epic photo of a cyberpunk spaceship and asked it to code a cinematic 3D fly-through animation. Visually, this animation looked incredibly cool. The AI maintained the original image's vibe, added movement to the engine thrusters, and made the blue lights blink, which really brought the image to life. But guys, the brutal truth here is that this wasn't real 3D. It didn't generate a 3D model. Instead, it just separated the foreground from the background to create a 2.5D parallax illusion. The camera doesn't actually pan around the spaceship. It is a very smart trick, but for true 3D generation, it totally got busted. The third test was all about coding and math. I asked it to create a highly complex SVG animation of a mechanical watch, complete with a continuously spinning tourbillon and gears. In terms of interactivity, it gets full marks. It built a functional click-to-win button, and all the gears moved smoothly in perfect synchronization. But when it came to complexity, it failed. I asked for a hyper-realistic tourbillon, but it delivered a somewhat basic and cartoonish 2D vector graphic instead. The code was exceptionally clean and ran like butter, but Gemini definitely struggled to generate complex engineering visuals.
The fourth test was super interesting because we fused UI coding with audio generation. I asked it to build a functional DJ mixing board and simultaneously compose a 60-second epic space battle orchestral soundtrack. For the UI, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It built a sleek mixer called Nexus 404, and every single slider, whether it was bass, treble, or tempo, worked flawlessly in real time.
Of steel gleam, waking from a dream. The void begins to burn, no point of no return. Lasers cut the dark, leaving scars that spark. A billion souls ignite in this final fight.
However, it went a bit off track with the music generation. The vibe was definitely epic and cinematic, but it completely ignored the 60-second time limit, cutting the song off at around 30 seconds. Plus, I specifically asked for a purely instrumental track, but it went ahead and added heavy male vocals and lyrics. So, despite the epic vibe, Gemini failed to follow the exact instructions here. Test number 5 was designed to push Gemini's 3D physics and lighting to their absolute limits. I asked it to code a WebGL simulation featuring a dark pool with water ripples and 3 different floating neon shapes. Guys, this result was a 100% perfect masterpiece. When you look at this simulation, you will literally be amazed. Because the shapes are half submerged, their visuals dynamically and naturally distort due to the water's refraction, exactly like they would in real life. This wasn't some cheap 3D trick or a solid surface animation. This was proof of real fluid dynamics and physics. The sliders for surface tension, refraction, and glow intensity worked flawlessly in the UI. For this cinematic masterpiece, Gemini 3.1 Pro gets a full 10 out of 10 from me. The 6th test was on complex data extraction, or OCR, and this one honestly blew my mind. I deliberately fed Gemini an AI-generated image of nutrition labels packed with spelling mistakes and bizarre gibberish words. This messy data would confuse almost any normal AI. But Gemini 3.1 Pro not only extracted the exact numbers for calories, protein, and sugar flawlessly, but it also showed meta-level intelligence. The serving sizes were different across all 3 packets, but the AI used its own logic to automatically normalize all the data to a 45-gram serving size, so our comparison would be completely fair. It even explicitly explained this reasoning in its analysis notes. Furthermore, it perfectly flagged the product with the highest sugar content. 0 errors, pure intelligence. This was truly a mind-blowing output. Test number 7 was a trap I set for Gemini 3.1 Pro. I gave it a photo of a rocky mountain that didn't actually have a snow leopard in it, but my prompt asked it to find and outline the hidden snow leopard. I expected it to cave under pressure and hallucinate by circling a random rock, just like other models often do. But it completely shocked me. Not only did it confidently state that there was no leopard in the image, but it also acted like a hacker and read the name of my uploaded file. The file was named Gemini Generated Image, and it literally called me out, saying this looks like an AI-generated image, not a real wildlife photo. Guys, this level of situational awareness is just scary good. For this meta-genius move and 0 hallucination, it definitely earns a 10 out of 10. The 8th test was video-to-app generation, and this test really showcased its true power. I uploaded a standard weather radar video to Gemini and told it in the text prompt to build a 3D hurricane tracker app for the East Coast. But guys, here is a massive twist. The video I actually uploaded was a radar of the Gulf Coast. Any normal AI would have blindly followed the text and built an East Coast map. But Gemini 3.1 Pro literally watched the video carefully, ignored the mistake in my text, and coded a fully functional Gulf Coast simulation based strictly on the video content. It didn't just design it, it coded the entire logic and math. As you drag the timeline slider at the bottom, the wind speed and storm category update in real time, escalating from Category 1 to Category 4. The play and pause buttons work like butter. Understanding a video and turning its mechanics into a functional app takes unbelievable intelligence. An absolute 10 out of 10. The 9th test focused on education, and if you think AI only writes long, boring text, you need to see this masterpiece. I asked for an interactive lesson on ancient Egypt for high schoolers, including 3 visual minigames, and it executed every single instruction perfectly. It built 3 functional tabs in a very clean UI. In the first game, you can decode secret hieroglyphics using a custom keyboard. The second tab features a proper pantheon matching quiz where you accurately match gods to their domains. And the third is my personal favorite, a mind-blowing pyramid builder slider. As you move the slider forward, the sun moves in the background, and you can actually watch the pyramid being built, layer by layer, from site preparation all the way to the capstone. Coding such a structured and interactive educational software from a single prompt is literally the future of learning. Full 10 marks for this one too.
Test number 10 was the ultimate coding challenge. I asked Gemini 3.1 Pro to code a fast-paced 2D space shooter game, and from a single prompt,
it created Neon Strike. I received a fully playable game featuring player movement, shooting mechanics, and 3 distinct types of enemies. When you destroy an enemy with a laser, the little particle explosions look incredibly satisfying. It didn't just create a gameplay screen, it built a proper start screen, live running score, high score tracking, and a proper game over screen where you can flawlessly restart the game. Running such a smooth game engine directly in a browser proves that AI is no longer just writing scripts, it's developing entire games. Another easy 10 out of 10. For the 11th and final test, I gave Gemini a highly complex scientific research task. I asked for research and a comparative analysis on solid-state batteries. I assumed it would just spit out a long, boring essay, but it literally generated an energy tech intelligence dashboard. It researched every single data point perfectly, from QuantumScape to Toyota's timelines, and organized everything into beautiful, executive-ready tables. It provided an incredibly clean comparison of gravimetric energy density, fast charging times, and costs. If you are a student or a corporate professional, Gemini 3.1 Pro will do hours of your work in mere seconds. Full 10 marks for this masterpiece as well. After these real-world tests, let's look at the official benchmarks. This new model has left other top models like Claude Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.2 behind in almost every single category. In the ARCAGI-2 benchmark, which tests an AI's ability to solve visual puzzles and learn new patterns, Gemini 3.1 Pro scored a massive 77.1%. In the GPQA Diamond benchmark, testing graduate-level scientific knowledge, it scored 94.3%, proving just how much deep world knowledge it contains. It is easily the most intelligent and cost-efficient model you can use today. So guys, that was my brutal and honest mega review of Gemini 3.1 Pro. This model is currently available in the Gemini app, so you can test it out for yourselves and let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.